One proud to bring you Wednesday night coverage of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games.
Yeah, a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
You know, Greg, those were games where you thought they could get a win. But now they need to forget about it. It's in the past. Let it go. And they've got to focus on the present and try to make a better run of it this time.
So Detroit will get the first possession. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. So on the floor for Utah, Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. And it's Exum in at the point.
And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
Clock at 4. Fires from the corner. Utah the rebound. Out to Hayward. Pass to Exum. Gobert the screen. Exum with it to the paint. Here's Favors. Pop loose off the pick and hammers it home.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
And for Johnson out of Arizona, Greg, his strength, as you were talking about, is his biggest asset. Helps that he has this incredible arm span. And Clark, you know what? He told me he likes to play the 2K game.
Yeah, he does enjoy that. He likes to play the real game, too,
yeah,
because he's hyper-competitive, and I think he's got a chance to be a superb defender at the NBA level.
Here is Ilyasova. Derek Favors making his last shot. The drive by Jennings. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
And, guys, Brandon Jennings last season looked like he was finally becoming more efficient. He shot at the upper range of his career field goal percentage from 3 and the free throw line. And then suddenly the Achilles ended his season at 41 games played. Really unfortunate.
Now Jennings, after Gordon Hayward's three-pointer, they didn't go. Jennings kicks to Caldwell Pope. Drummond with a screen on Hayward. Off the pick. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there, and I'm sure he appreciated it.
Now here's Exum. Favors with a wide open look. And that comes off the assist by Exum. And that's now 6 points for Derek Favors. Getting back to Jennings last season really did start out as one of his best. Not just the improvement, Clark, in accuracy. His turnovers per game were at a career low.
Yeah, that's what we have to watch out for with Jennings. I mean, he's still only 26 years old, Kevin. Now, plenty of time to continue to refine and hone his game. I think his best basketball is in front of him.
Now Exum, following the miss by Brandon Jennings from deep. Favors sets the pick for Exum. He dishes it to Favors. The shot by Hayward, wide open, and again it's Utah.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Outside Jennings. Here's Caldwell Pope. Hayward grabs the board.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Gobert with a screen on Johnson. Here's Exum, the feed to Favors. 11 feet away, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim. The Pistons trailing. Caldwell Pope pass to Ilyasova. And that one's good. Ilyasova's got his second bucket tonight.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now, here's Exum. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Gobert, the screen. Hayward dishes to Exum. And Gobert kicks to Hayward. Another shot. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Jazz.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
Jennings with the bucket. Here's Exum. Favors sets the pick for Exum. Hayward outside. And it's Hayward again missing.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Now here's Drummond from down low. And the rejection by Favors. 5 on the clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Pistons trail by 3. Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And you know, Utah might not have finished 500 on the season, but they did finish 500 against the Eastern Conference. Went 15-15 last season.
Now here's Gobert. He feeds it to Hayward. Passes to Exum. A 3-ball. The shot is off. Now the Pistons take it the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's just hard to make up when you have an inability to make free throws consistently, and that's why they ended up losing.
Yes, sir. I think some doubt started to creep in when they kept missing those foul shots. I mean, you could see them start to shy away from wanting to even go to the line.
And for the Jazz, getting those wins, Greg, out of conference, you were just talking about that, was a big key for them. Helps them keep pace, Clark, in this rugged Western Conference.
And I thought the Jazz got better and better as the season wore on. They started slowly against the East last year, but won 5 of their last 6 out of conference.
Now, here's Exum, following the miss by Jennings. Here's Burks. Here's Gobert, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. That one on Johnson.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the knee.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. I mean, he had to foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
Utah shooting their 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight.
And it's been an issue for them as it was last year, only 72% from the line.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Morris comes in for Ilyasova. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Johnson. And it's Jackson in for Brandon Jennings. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Utah Jazz saw one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here.
And for the Jazz on the road, they look to be a team built around defense now moving forward. That should bode well for their prospects as a tough matchup as a visitor.
And the Jazz making a change here. Lyles checked in. Now here's Jackson. He's coming off a 19-point game against Atlanta.
Boy, was he physical. I mean, in that game, just drawing a lot of contact and getting himself to the line over and over.
And that one's good.
As you said with the Jazz, I mean, defense travels very well in the NBA. Teams that find ways to grind out road wins do it with really solid defense. Jazz fans have a lot to look forward to with this group.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Meeks inside the three-point line. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Meeks got his first bucket in this one. Now here's Burke, guarded by Jackson. Burke can't get it to go.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Now here's Jackson. Down low, Baines passes to Morris. Kicks it to Jackson. Meeks outside. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Meeks got 5 now.
Good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
There's a good screen to the left wing. Here's Hood. He's guarded by Meeks. Hood dishes to Booker. The 3 goes up again. Lyles no good.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Outside Jackson, and that's out of bounds. Detroit will retain possession.
Well, look here at last year in the NBA, where the Jazz ranked. First in opponent points per game. Second in second chance points. And they were ranked 3rd in blocks. A good, solid defensive team in the paint.
And the hallmark for this team is that stifling defense. I mean, you mentioned that ranking. Lowest opponent's points per game. They just grind teams down and really just took the life out of them.
Burke kicks to Hood. Shot from 12. Rebounded by the Pistons. Now Jackson. Here's Caldwell Pope. No good from outside.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Burke with it. Jackson on him. Here's Booker. Another miss by Utah. Pistons leading by 3. Out to the right wing. Meeks inside the three-point line. Burke grabs the miss.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
I was able to talk with Quinn Snyder for a moment. As far as key factors coming into this game, he said that defense is their focus, and he added, our shot blocking really gives us that anchor inside and the foundation we need to be successful at that end of the floor. That's something we can count on, and of course, the rest of our defensive execution is just as important, if not more so. Kevin, it's always defense first.
Okay, thank you, Doris. And the defensive approach, guys, how do you think that'll play out here?
You know, sounds like they'd like to keep this a low-scoring affair. This could be one of those grind-it-out kind of games.
And I'm sure that would suit them just fine. It may not be what the fans want to see or hear, but a win is a win. Come on now. A W is a W, and that's what you're playing for.
And that is good.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
Here's Caldwell Pope after the basket by Utah. Back to Jackson. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Jackson's got it all tied up now for the Pistons.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
Now, here's Burke. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Jackson with it. Burke covering. Baines passes to Jackson. Nice ball movement by Detroit. For the three. And the basket good. Caldwell Pope's got 5.
You know, getting that first make is key after 4 misses to start, guys. I mean, hopefully he can build on that.
Here's Burke. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D. And he's trying to shoot his way out. Honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
Here's Booker. Tries again. Got a hand on it. And they're able to recover. And that one is stuffed right through. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
Here's Baines. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Baines has got his first bucket of the night. Utah trailing here. And here is Burke. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Here's Meeks. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Pistons ahead, leading by just 1. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And Derek Favors known for his work ethic, and he talked about his focus on developing his skills.
I just want to get better. I just want to keep improving as a player throughout the year, just get better, keep making strides, and keep getting better in every aspect of my game.
Well, the desire is there, and sounds like the commitment that he's showing is too. How far, Greg, do you think he can go?
Well, you talk about desire and commitment, and then you throw in the fact that he has the talent that can be built upon and improved. One big factor will be injuries. That's the big X factor that determines so many more careers than desire. Talent and commitment, you need to stay on the court.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
It's just been a long-range battle for them and one that they're winning right now.
Yeah, sharp shooting from deep, a big part of why they're up.
Taking a look at the Jazz, the forwards are Hayward and Favors, Exum and Burks, their backcourt, and it's Gobert in at the 5. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. And you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed 2-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
And on the topic of Hayward hiring an agent, it was reported that the questionnaire was just the beginning and that prospective agents also went through quite a grilling. In addition to that, you talk about a thorough process.
catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, I was able to listen in on what Quinn Snyder was going over with his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Favors. Coach reminded them that he is supposed to be the key factor tonight, and he still wants to see that happen. So, Kevin, change is already being made on the fly here in the second quarter.
Thank you, Doris.
You know, back to Hayward, obviously his first NBA contract was subject to the rookie wage scale, but his second contract, 4-year max deal. So whatever the Haywards have done as far as agent vetting, it's paid off.
Now, here's Burks. After the miss from Reggie Jackson, Gobert the screen. Burks can't get it to go.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And guys, how about Ilyasova last season shooting the basketball? Always a decent threat to score. His improvements in efficiency were amazing. He increased his field goal accuracy from 41 to 47% in only 1 year.
He's off on the first. And we were talking about Ilyasova. There's a reason his field goal percentage went up last season. It wasn't necessarily better shooting. It was probably better shot selection.
And I think the scheme played to his strengths. Lots of ball movement, penetration, kicking out to open spot-up shooters. Ersan showed us that's his kind of game.
Nice ball movement by Utah. Exum dishes to Burks. And Favors kicks to Hayward. Favors with the screen. Hayward goes in. And it's Favors that time on the assist by Hayward. And it's a 3-point Jazz lead.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Jackson. 5 points in the game. Now here's Exum. Feeds it to Burks. And a miss there on the triple. Jackson passes to Jennings. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Utah leading by 3. Hayward kicks to Exum. Gobert with a screen on Johnson. And the pass to Burks. All sorts of time. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got his 3rd rebound on the night. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
To the middle. Tries to snap the cold streak. Ilyasova can't hit.
You know what? His finishing ability not really at the level that you would expect from a pro, but he's going to have to start playing with more force.
Exum's shot is off.
Boy, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Hayward right side. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just 1 basket away from winning it all.
That free throw good from Hayward. Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his school the championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him. He's willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell.
Jennings kicks to Drummond. There's the feed to Jennings. To the paint, changes up, and Johnson finishes off inside. Johnson's got his first points of the night.
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
Exum dishes to Burks. Gobert the screen. Johnson with the block.
It's almost as if there's a lid on the hoop for him right now. He still hasn't gotten one to fall in the quarter.
Trying to find Jackson. He's got it now. Back to Johnson. Launches it. And Hayward with the block. And they'll keep possession. And Drummond kicks to Johnson. Johnson missing again. Jazz leading by 3. Hayward with the ball. Misses the layup.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Johnson attacking. Shot no good. Great D that time from Favors. Here's Hayward. Burks the pass to Exum. And it's sent back by Drummond. Detroit's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Kicks it out to Johnson. Shoots from the baseline. Off the rim and drops.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
Now here's Hayward. To the inside. Gobert.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Exum dishes to Hayward. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Fans had a hard time finding their way to the stadium last season for the Pistons at the bottom in several home attendance categories last year.
Yeah, it's right in Auburn Hills.
I know.
I mean, they used to go a lot when they were winning championships. But to be fair to those fans, it was hard at times to watch the Pistons play. I mean, they could get cold and really struggle on their home floor.
And for the Pistons, a lot of their woes here at home were due to defense. I mean, their 18-23 home record comes from allowing too many good looks for their opponents.
Hayward hits them both.
And the Pistons, how about starting out 2-13 at home? I mean, they did turn it around afterwards, going 16-10 to finish out the season. At least they seem to be headed in the right direction.
Now here's Drummond. Outside Jennings. Kicks it out to Johnson. Tries from 16. Jennings can't get it to go.
Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Here's Exum. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. That one on Johnson.
And, you know, guys, Dante Exum is such a fluid, versatile athlete. Really shows great promise. Has tremendous size and length for a point guard. Can also play the 2. His rookie season last year, though, a mixed bag.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. For Dante Exum, Greg, last season he didn't shoot the ball that well, and his turnover rate was what you might expect from a rookie, but his defense was good. In fact, borderline excellent at times.
That's a great point, Kevin. And you know what I like about Exum, when his shot wasn't falling, you know, he didn't allow it to affect the other facets of his game. He would find ways to contribute, and that's the kind of attitude that so many scouts got excited about when they were talking about this guy in the first place.
There's the dish to Favors. Drills the baseline jumper. Favors got 6 here in this quarter. Pistons trail by 9. Outside Jackson. Morris kicks to Jennings. Looking to end the run. Gobert with the block. They retain possession. Morris passes to Johnson. The Pistons working the ball around now. Back to Jackson. Utah with the rebound.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Hayward with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Gobert the screen. Here's Burks. And it's sent back by Drummond. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond. So for the Pistons, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Caldwell Pope comes in for Johnson. And it's Jody Meeks in for Jackson. And a switcher also for Utah. Booker's checked in. Utah calls timeout. Drummond, a bit of a disappointing season last year. Not so much in play, but people wanted to see a bigger leap from him. Now, his numbers are still pretty jaw-dropping, but I think he's got so much there to give.
He has a lot of potential, Kevin. And listen, I don't think his play was bad. He just had such huge expectations to live up to. I mean, player development is not a straight line, and it would have been very hard to have him take another huge leap forward. Sometimes you have that sophomore jinx. But I'm expecting a big year from him this season.
Here is Jennings. After Gordon Hayward's bucket, Here's Morris, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
Now here's Hayward. He's got 8. Beyond the arc. Burks' shot is good. And the Jazz lead by 12.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
And he gets it to go. 6 points for Brandon Jennings. Utah has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Burke kicks to Burks. And it's Meeks with the rebound.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Morris dishes to Meeks. Out left to the wing. Jennings drives in. And stolen by Favors. Now here's Burke. Tight defense on him. Good work defensively by Morris. Pistons trail by 10. Jennings with the ball. Now defended by Hayward.
And offensively, he has been a liability more than he's helped this quarter.
They set the pick. It's good. The assist that time from Burke. Burke's got 6 assists now in the game.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
It's Jennings with the drive. And that is good. Jennings has got 4 points this quarter.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Now here's Hayward. He's got 10. Pass to Favors. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Favors has got the lead up to 12 now for the Jazz.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Now here's Burke, following the miss by Jennings. There's the screen. Outside Favors. Dishes it to Hayward. Here's Booker. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Detroit's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4.
And let's take a moment to look at some stats for Favors. Good season for him last year. 8th in field goal percentage and a top 15 ranking in blocks per game, supplying that backline protection that is so key to a great defense.
And, you know, back to his tremendous efficiencies from 3 last year. I mean, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good.
And Jody Meeks last season, coming off the best effort of his career the year before, signed a big contract with the Pistons. They thought he'd be their designated three-point shooter. Instead, he missed the first 22 games with a back injury and just never really got in sync.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Lyles checked in for Favors. Joe Ingles comes in for Gordon Hayward. Rodney Hood subbed in for Alec Burks. Here's Hood. And Jody Meeks gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Burke, the pass to Lyles. Denial. Pistons trail by 10. Now for Jody Meeks, we were just talking about with Greg last year, Clark. He did have a game where he ran 9 three-pointers on Orlando, just 1 short of the Pistons' all-time record.
Well, it's all about rhythm for him. I tell you where he finally found some rhythm last month of the season. I mean, he shot 57% from the field and 44% from behind the arc.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough. But that's how you win games. Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Here's Hood. can't get it to go. And Detroit the other way now. 1:24 left in the second quarter. Takes a three, and the shot is good. The Utah lead has been cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Meeks. Utah has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Inside, here's Lyles. Second shot opportunity, and he sinks the layup. Lyles got his first points in this one.
Yeah, after a first quarter where they struggled from long range, they really started to get it closer to the basket.
Yeah, and that's a nice adjustment on their part, Greg. Even for the best three-point shooting team, sometimes you've got to do a little something different to get your offense going.
So it's the Pistons now after the basket by Utah. 4 on the shot clock. 11 feet away, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. 35 seconds left in the first half of basketball. He kicks it to Ingles. They set the screen. We've got 22 seconds left now here in the second. 5 to shoot. Goes up to the stripe. And no good as it rattles out.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Aaron Baines. That is his first foul of the game.
Pistons back on the floor. Ursan Ilyasova, Reggie Jackson.
Burke. No good. And that concludes the first half. Jazz lead by 8. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Yes, guys, I'm here with Derek Favors. And Derek, a big effort for you in that first half. Did Coach call on you to come out here and be productive early on?
Oh, yeah, I know our coach wanted me to be aggressive, and I came out and I was aggressive.
You certainly were. Thanks for the time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. A big night so far for Derek Favors. He had 16 points, 2 steals, and 1 block. He put last game's performance behind him, doing some nice work in the opening period tonight. And Shaq, what did you think about what we saw from Utah?
What stood out to me more than anything else was how hard they got after it on the offensive glass. They were keeping possessions alive and converting those rebounds into points. Take away those extra points, they're not in this position, Ernie.
Over to Kenny. What'd you think about Detroit?
Well, they're losing the battle on the boards. And when you're struggling to stay in the game, a few extra rebounds either way can make the difference. Because rebounds equal possessions, and possessions can equal extra points. They need to come out in the second half with the mindset that every rebound is theirs.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
Derek Favors has been all sorts of trouble for him. 16 points and 2 steals. He is in complete control of this game.
Clark, you're on the money with that one. It's all going his way.
Jazz leading by 8.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Jennings and Caldwell Pope in the backcourt. Johnson is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Drummond in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the group starting the second half for Stan Van Gundy. And here's Exum following the 3 from Alec Burks. And that one's good by Favors. Well, as you said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement. And, Clark, they did clean up their play style as well.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assists and cutting down the turnovers. This made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Burks kicks to Hayward. To the middle. And it's going to be a 3-second call. With this chance, let's show you the league's most intimidating shot blocking defenses from last season. In third, the Jazz.
A big part of their defense really revolved around their ability to block shots at the rim. It's so valuable to have that kind of backline protection. Allows you to be aggressive on the perimeter.
Now here's Ilyasova. It's stolen by Gobert. Exum kicks to Gobert. Ball going up court. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
Boy, for Alec Burks, he really started to put it all together in his third season. He doubled his scoring average, shooting percentage was up. Then last season, a strong start, but a shoulder injury cut short what I thought was going to be his best season yet.
And back to Alec Burks, a guy who entered the league with raw talent, but once the light went on, Greg, he showed the ability to help his team in a number of ways.
Yeah, he's going to be the prototype in terms of a two-way player. He's a guy who can not only score it for you, but he'll rebound and defend it. But what impressed me last season is he averaged 3 assists a game, really looked to make plays for his teammates.
When you keep turning it over like they have, you give your opponent the chance to get out and run on you.
And it's come back to bite them so often here today.
Now here's Jennings. 8 points for him. On the wing, Johnson to end the drought. They grab their own miss. Drummond, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials. Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
And a different look here for the Pistons. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Ilyasova. Morris comes in for Johnson. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Brandon Jennings. He got right to the cup using that screen. And that's now 20 points for Derek Favors. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the 2 things as a big that I really value, great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Here is Tolliver. Rudy Gobert picking up that last basket. And the rejection by Favors. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession. 6 on the shot clock. Jackson down low.
Boy, a rough start to the second half. 5 straight clunkers.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Gobert with a screen for Exum. Down low. And Gobert with the basket on the assist by Exum. Exum's got 10 assists here tonight. So active. Detroit's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Outside Jackson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. They get Derek Favors.
And for Reggie Jackson, the league is going the right way in terms of his skill set. Everyone loves the guard who can shoot well enough to bust the zone as well as make plays for others and at the rim. And Jackson is that guy.
And back to Jackson. He really took on the playmaker role after being traded to the Pistons. As a Detroit player, he averaged over 9 assists a game, Clark, which would have put him 4th overall in the league had it been for a full campaign.
Loved his aggressiveness, which led to opportunities for his teammates, but it also led to turnovers. That part of his game he's got to tighten up.
Exum's shot is off.
Boy, he really bungled that finish.
To the inside. It's Drummond with the drive. Jackson has the open look, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Jackson's got 8 points, and here are the Jazz now. They're on an 18-4 run. Gobert with a screen for Hayward. With the fadeaway. No good. And Detroit the other way now. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Here's Jackson on the money from 12 feet away. Jackson's got 5 points in the quarter.
He can be a matchup nightmare if he can get it in the paint.
Exum kicks to Hayward. Gobert the screen. Hayward goes in.
And doesn't he just have a nose, a knack for the basketball? He is by far their best rebounder.
Well, he has been today. No doubt about that. His effort's been unbelievable.
Oliver in the post. Burks covering. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
If they think that kind of defense is going to get it done against him, they're mistaken.
His second personal, 13.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Jazz.
Guys, how about all the second chance points they've been able to convert throughout the game?
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers. A lot of NBA teams have been outright buying developmental league teams. I mean, the Jazz did that last season. They purchased the Idaho Stampede last March, and we see more and more of that happening. One-on-one affiliations between D-League teams and NBA teams. My goodness, he sure can get off the ground.
One of the best in the business for sure. You're right.
I tell you what, he is an imposing finisher around the rim. He makes it look a little too easy. And guys, Reggie Jackson was at the end of a yo-yo last season. He starts at Oklahoma for an injured Westbrook. Westbrook comes back, sends Jackson to the bench. Then Oklahoma sends Jackson to Detroit, where he fills in for another injured starter in Brandon Jennings for the rest of the year.
And the Pistons making a change here. Baines is checked in. Favors with the screen. Exum sets a screen for Hayward. Shoots from the elbow. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Hayward's got 5 points now in the quarter. Now getting back to Jackson, he showed several times last season that he has that starter ability. The Thunder knew they wouldn't have the money to re-sign him, Clark, in free agency, so they traded him to avoid losing him for nothing.
Yeah, and that's a good move. And with the Pistons, Jackson finished the season strong, while the Thunder, without Jackson or Durant's contributions, missed the playoffs for the first time in years.
Jazz leading by 20. Pass to Burks. Here's Exum. Favors with the screen. They set the pick. Clock at 6. Pass to Burks for 3. Morris with the rebound.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
And Baines kicks to Jackson. Shot is off. Gobert with the defensive effort.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass.
Here's Jackson after Alec Burks' score. Stolen by Exum. He dishes it to Favors. Shoots a fader. Morris with the rebound. Morris has got his third rebound tonight.
Oof, this guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
Meeks, good.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Now here's Hayward. 15 points in the game. Good for basket number 6 from him in the contest. He's shooting 6 for 12.
And it looks like they left their defensive effort back in the locker room, guys. They just haven't had the same commitment here defensively in the second half.
The drive by Jackson. And Baines kicks to Meeks. Out to Morris. Knocked away. And stolen by Hayward. And it's Meeks with the rebound. For Detroit, they've gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Outside Jackson. Six on the shot clock. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
You know, if you're only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would have the lead.
First personal foul, team's third.
A different look here for Detroit. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Morris, and it's Caldwell Pope in for Jody Meeks.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Utah gets it back. Booker. Johnson with the block. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Detroit. Burke dishes to Booker. Kicks to Burke. He feeds it to Booker. Now the pass to Hood. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Hood's got 6.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Ilyasova hits the bucket.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
Out to the wing. Jazz passing it around. Now here's Burke. He's guarded by Jennings. Burke kicks to Booker. Rebound by the Pistons. Now Jennings. 8 points for him. Feeds it to Ilyasova. Johnson, the pass to Baines. Back to Johnson. Inside. It's deflected. And stolen by Hood. And it's blocked. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got 10.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Burke kicks to Ingles. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, clearly, guys, Trey Burke is a guy who is talent, drafted number 9 overall 2013, grew up in Columbus, Ohio, went to the University of Michigan. But so far, you know, Greg, in the NBA, he's been a bit of a tweener.
And that's a great point. And part of the issue is, you know, he was a scoring guard in a point guard's body. And one thing that happens in college when you're the best player it's a lot easier. Now when you move up to the next level, you have to change what you do on the floor to impact the game, and that's been a challenge for him thus far early in his career.
Interesting.
And, going back to Trey Burke, for a guy with a scoring mindset, he has some limitations there. His field goal percentage was under 40 his first 2 seasons. Part of that is because he doesn't have the explosiveness to get to the rim.
That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. Jazz leading by 19 points. Burke dishes to Ingles. To the right side. Here's Hood. No up. The Pistons go the other way with it.
And, talking about Trey Burke, at his size, he needs to become a more consistent playmaker. I know he's a competitor, very successful in college, wants to play a lot of minutes in the pros, but to do that, he needs to reshape his game and I think adopt a pass-first mentality.
Here's Baines. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Pistons have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line.
And they only made 70% of their free throws as a team a season ago. Certainly room for improvement.
And, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Utah. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Utah has gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. .11 seconds left in the third. Clock at 6. To the wing right side. Ingles. No good with the triple. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. It's the Jazz leading by 17. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything.
Separated by the nice and the nice not underground and I'm ice hot. What rap my age to
So on the floor for Utah. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Gobert is out there with Trevor Booker. And it's Exum in at the point guard position.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
get open.
Here's Jackson. Knocks down the 3 ball. Jackson's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Detroit. Utah leading by 14. Exum passes to Gobert. Gobert with a screen for Burks. Out to Hayward from past the arc. Rebound by the Pistons. Outside Jackson. The feed to Ilyasova. There's the dish to Drummond. Shot clock at 6. Here's Jackson. A second chance effort. And with that, the Utah leaders cut down now to just 12 on the basket from Drummond.
Of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. Here's Exum. Pass to Gobert. And that comes off the assist by Exum. 15 points for Rudy Gobert.
Just carrying the load right now offensively, guys. He is not wasting any chances.
From where I sit, Greg, it's a simple deduction. If they want things to be easy on themselves here late, make sure he has the ball.
Ilyasova can't hit. Utah leading by 14. And here's Exum. Dishes to Gobert. Burks in the corner. Gobert with a screen on Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Gobert can't hit. Detroit's gone 6 of 14 with the 3 ball tonight. Just a little over 40%.
That's an example there, guys, of contesting the shot and corralling the board. That's really all you can ask of a guy at that end of the floor.
Exum kicks to Burks. And Jackson with the block. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
He kicks to Caldwell Pope. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Utah timeout call.
Start it.
And the Jazz call time here.
And guys, you know, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, this guy screams potential at you. I mean, perfect size and length and speed for a 2-guard. He plays both ends. Right now, it's all about consistency for him.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
On the topic of Caldwell Pope, he's the kind of guy who needs a year to feel his way around. In college, Greg, you may recall he showed dramatic improvement between years 1 and 2. The same thing has been true in the pros.
Yeah, and he has everything going for him. I mean, excellent outside shot, tremendous defensive tools. He just needs to add some strength and stay in attack mode to reach the next level in his development.
Here is Hayward after the basket by Detroit. And it's blocked. And now the Pistons, fast break, ahead. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Jazz leading by 11. Burks with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Exum with a wide open look. No good on the 3.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
Pass to Favors. No one near him. And that comes off the assist by Exum. And now 24 points for Derek Favors. Detroit's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Jackson kicks to Ilyasova. Down low, Johnson. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Passes it to Hayward. Johnson with the block. On the wing, Johnson. Uncovered. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Now, here's Burks. Guarded by Jackson. Nice job coming off that screen. And the Jazz lead by 13.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have. Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
Well, there's also style just with the fact that he's able to have that kind of a finish, though. Still, I like that pretty one-handed flush.
The Pistons have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. He dishes it to Ilyasova. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Ilyasova's got 4 points this quarter. Jazz leading by 9. Hayward outside. Gobert with a screen for Hayward. He feeds it to Gobert. Kicks to Exum. Nice ball movement by Utah. And a slam dunk by Favors.
tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Exum with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Gobert, the screen. Hayward goes in, outside Favors. And Burks now atop the key. Here's Exum. It's good from long range.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Pistons trailed by 14. Jackson kicks to Ilyasova. Tries again, and the rejection by Favors. Now, here's Burks. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. That one on Johnson.
So far in the game for Alec Burks, he's got 17 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
The Pistons making a change here. Caldwell Pope checked in. Out of bounds. Pistons ball as Detroit keeps possession.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Drummond dishes to Caldwell Pope. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs if they were in the East.
He misses the free throw.
And, you know, for the Jazz, you mentioned their post-All-Star break surge. I mean, that 19-10 record they had after the break was good enough for sixth best in the league.
And really, the Jazz were a team nobody wanted to play after the break. They were over 500 against the rest of the West and had some big wins over playoff teams in the process.
And here's Jackson after Gordon Hayward hitting the three. Outside Jackson, the pass to Ilyasova. Johnson kicks to Drummond. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Johnson. They need this. And Derek Favors pulls it down. Favors has got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. To the paint, here's Gobert, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
Oh, they are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense. I mean, it's all been good.
Ilyasova can't hit.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
Now, here's Exum. They get it back. And Gobert kicks to Hayward. To the wing on the left. Favors with the screen. Feeds to Exum. Hayward outside. And that comes off the assist by Exum. And it's now 22 points for Gordon Hayward.
Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Outside Jackson, and Dante Exum picks up the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
It's been kind of a gradual occurrence, but I think it's clear that analytics are here to stay in the NBA. Every team now has at least some vesting into the analytics area. Some base a lot of their decisions on the number side of the game. Others have a more balanced approach.
Now here's Jackson. They need this one. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Jackson's got 15 points here in the second half. Now here's Exum. He's guarded closely. Gobert the screen. Burks the pass to Gobert. Out to Hayward. The feed now to Exum. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
That'll be a Pistons timeout. Guard it.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Well, you got to put a body on your man when the shot goes up. That's just fundamental basketball. They're giving up way too many offensive rebounds.
Jackson dishes to Drummond. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Make it two hands for safety. That's what they say, right, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right. You got it. And he was also safe with that dunk.
No reason not to be.
And, guys, as he should be, remove all doubt on that attack.
Analytics does have a strong place in the NBA, so it's been proven over the last decade. Some held out, but now, Greg, the results, the benefits of those numbers, it's hard to deny them.
A great point, Kevin. And with something new like that, there's always going to be a bit of resistance. There will always need to be a balance, I believe, and you need to use the numbers and your own eyes. They hand in hand to kind of keep each other in check. Yeah, and right when you thought that shot was leaving his hands, he reinvents it.
Here's Exum, and it's the Jazz's ball. They're on a 16-6 run. Hayward outside. Favors with a screen on Johnson. Hayward kicks to Burks. No good on the three. Pistons trail by 19. To the middle. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got 5 points now this quarter.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Gobert the screen. Burks the pass to Exum.
Well, this is nothing new. There is some debate on how successful max contracts have been in the NBA. A lot of players have demanded max contract money but haven't lived up to the pay. And in my opinion, there are only about 15 guys worthy of max contracts in the league in any given year.
Detroit's gotten the three-point shot off 16 times tonight. 7 times they've hit it, 9 times they've missed.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Jazz.
Great, generous ball movement tonight, a thing of beauty.
Yeah, remarkable team effort, Kevin. Everybody got involved, and that paid dividends.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
A good win, and a lot went into it, but I just like the showing for Derek Favors. He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
Good.
And the fans already heading for the exits, clearly not pleased with the way things turned out today.
Well, Greg, this was a well-deserved win. I mean, they came into this building and acted like it was their home turf. I mean, they were the ones calling the shots and controlling everything.
Exum with it. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Well, Derek, first off, congratulations on a very well-played game. It looked like you were having a ton of fun out there.
Oh, it's fun, man. It's always fun to win. I'm just coming out here playing my game. Rebound and defense, that's my game. And coach trusts me, so I couldn't let him down.
Know your role. It's always good advice, Derek. Thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, Derek Favors. Let's get your opinion, Shaq.
Well, his ability to get into the paint, get to the rim was deadly. For a guy who's mainly a perimeter shooter, it was remarkable how many of his points came right at the bucket.
There are a lot of fantastic power forwards in today's NBA. And let me tell you, Derek Favors is right there among them. And there are nights like this when he even stands above that crowd. His offensive game is extremely well-rounded. He's solid all around.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.